Hi, everyone. So we're at the Real Talk with Claudia Mostaghasi, and it's episode 4. Notice I didn't look at the board that much, Ventura. And I have Mrs. Erin Wilder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I butcher your last name.
It's all good. It's all good.
With the American Association. So I'm super excited because today is February 3rd. And it's Wear Red Day.
National Wear Red Day.
National Wear Red Day. So she's wearing red. I'm wearing red too. If you can see, my pants are red. So, and I have red lipstick. So we're all wearing red. So thank you so much for coming and being here with me for the next hour. Or how long do we have? I made him like have little heart attacks, Erin. Not really, but like he's all like, wait, no. So I'm super excited. I know that you guys have seen everything on my Facebook page, but I was nominated to be a Women of Impact for 2023. So I wanted to share with you, like, I think that one of the things that actually motivate me to be part of it is a lot of people are not aware that the heart problems are a real thing, not just like with older people, but like younger people and especially girls. I know you probably have better statistics and all that stuff, so I'm going to pick your brain on that. But tell us a little bit about the Heart Association here in Corpus.
So the Heart Association is a national organization, but we are definitely very much a local organization that we have different educational opportunities throughout the Coastal Bend, as well as programs that we have. We are in our area schools, we are in our hospitals, but then we also have different things that we have going on within doctors' offices. We're working with other organizations within the community, doing CPR trainings. The American Heart Association encompasses so many different things within the Coastal Bend.
Right. And how long have you been part of it, Erin?
I have worked for the American Heart Association for 8.5 years.
Wow, so a long time. Yeah. What prompt you to go that route?
Yeah, so I think that when I look at the American Heart Association, yes, it is. I am the executive director, so this is my job. But I have a passion for what we do as an organization. Heart disease is the #1 killer of all Americans, both men and women. And so it truly affects everybody that we come into contact with. You know, everybody has a personal reason and a personal why, and that's going to be different for everybody that you come into contact with. But when you sit there and you look at, my family members, a number of different family members have heart disease, and so it truly does impact everybody that we come into contact with in one form or fashion. And so that's one of my passions is truly building that awareness about heart disease.
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, it doesn't necessarily has to do with, somebody in my family is already sick. I mean, it's like a lot of these are like actually situations that you don't even foresee them coming.
Right. And so it affects everybody. It doesn't discriminate. And so heart disease, you can be born with a heart defect. It affects different ages all the way around. I mean, we have our survivor that is going to be featured at Heartball. She was a 14-year-old basketball player and collapsed and ended up having to have open heart surgery. She had CPR, had an AED to bring her back, and then she ended up having open heart surgery. And so at 14 years old, she's 18 now. But then it also goes into, as far as women, men, it's not just that traditional. I think that when you sit there and you think about heart disease, you think about it as an old man's disease.
Older people, yeah.
And it doesn't discriminate.
No, I mean, you see, like, my kid was telling me the other day about the NFL player, And I was kind of like, I'm like, oh, wow. And then she was like, no, mom, you don't understand. Like, it had to happen in an exact, like, second of, like, in between the beat of the heart. And I mean, she just went on, like, I guess she was reading a lot about it. And I was like, wow. I mean, you think, like, this healthy guy that is, like, running and they're used to all these stuff. And then it just, stuff like that happens. So, I think it is very important for everybody to be aware of, or more than anything, I think, it's hard with the society, like, food, for example. Like, we're not like the healthiest all the time. And then, like, the fast food. And nowadays, you see a lot of more salads and stuff, but you still see the McDonald's here and there, and the ice cream and the cookies. And, like, so, I mean, it's just educating the people of what make better decisions health wise.
Right. It's all about moderation too. And so, I think that we all have our different things that we love and that kind of thing. But instead of, eating that whole bag of M&Ms, eating maybe one or two,
Right.
And so being able to have moderation and allowing yourself some of those fun things, but eating healthier, getting more active, moving more, and not smoking,
and I think that's a big one, the whole moving more. I think that now, even with, like, little kids, like, you see more, the phone and the iPad, and, like, where before, I mean, I remember I grew up, and I don't want to say my age, but I grew up where I would, like, literally leave my house and be running around on the street, like, playing soccer or whatever, and then coming back to dinner and take a bath and go to bed. Now, I mean, kids are in the house all day, like, literally on their iPads and stuff like that. I mean, you don't see that level of activity that we saw probably years ago.
Right. We have a youth market director. Her name is Sonia, and she is in all of our area schools. And so the American Heart Association provides a curriculum to our schools.
Oh, wow.
And it's truly focusing on the whole child. It used to be Jump Rope for Heart. Now it's called Kids Heart Challenge. And that means basically to be able to take care of the whole child. And so making sure that they are eating right, making sure that they are moving more, making sure that they are not smoking or vaping, making sure that they are being kind, not bullying. And so there is a whole curriculum that we provide to schools.
Are these like for like CCIZ schools, or do you open it like to private schools too?
Yeah, no, she's in all of the area schools.
Oh, that's good. Yep. So that brings me to another question. So we're definitely in a really hard, not hard, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually super excited about all the events that I have planned for the campaign. And it's just basically we're going to be fundraising. So we're going to be trying to get as much funds to help. Is it research, or what are we like? So if, let's say you're going to convince me, or you're going to tell me like, hey, Claudia, you need to donate. So what am I donating for?
Yeah, so definitely you're donating for research. That is one of the things that the American Heart Association does, and so those dollars do fund research. But you are also funding the awareness piece, so education and awareness that happens right here in our local market, as well as community programs and outreach that we have. As well as opportunities to be able to do those CPR trainings, and so it's all about the research, education, and awareness, I would say.
So when you say, so one of the things that she mentioned was, the programs that they're teaching schools for the kids. Mm-hmm. I saw also the CPR kiosk that you have at the mall.
Yes.
So what is that? Can you tell me more about that?
So what that is, so right outside of the Cheesecake Factory, we have a CPR kiosk that was placed in December, and you're able to go to the mall and learn hands-only CPR. And so it's a very cool kiosk. It is one of 38 in the nation. It's the first one that we have here in Corpus. That was thanks to the generous support of Christus Spahn Health System that we have that place there. But you are able to go up. It's a touch screen, very, very cool. it measures the placement of your hands. It measures the compression and how the depth of your compressions, and then it also measures the timing. And so you want to do 100 to 120 beats per minute, or to different songs like "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees, and so that you have that,
Wow.
that kind of. And so making sure that you are doing the correct rhythm. But you're able to practice on this kiosk. There's a mannequin right there, and then there is a practice test, and it gives you a score. So it's very cool.
That's very cool.
And that is one of the things. So CPR is what saved Damar Hamlin's life, and so the NFL football player.
Yeah.
And so CPR is truly what saved his life, along with an AED, along with the quick responders of the medical team.
Right.
And so.
You mentioned also that you guys do or teach CPR. So do you guys have a program, like if anybody, like let's say a company, like for example here at the office, it will probably come helpful to have somebody that is certified. So where can people go and look into that?
Well, there's different types of there's learning hands only CPR, which we have found that the American Heart Association has found that being able to perform CPR right away as soon as somebody has a cardiac arrest. Being able to perform hands-only CPR is so critical and can double or triple chance at the rate of survival. And so until medical professionals arrive.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's also certified CPR. And so there's people who are certified in CPR, and they have a more extensive training. And so you have a lot of professionals that are trained in CPR, medical professionals and EMS and different professions that require that certification versus the bystander CPR of being able to see a family member or a coworker, neighbor, that kind of thing, and being able to perform.
But is there any specific, like, where would they go to ask for more, like, I mean, to do a training or something? Yeah. Are there like several places? Do they go directly to the association or?
And so you're able to go to heart.org/CPR, and that will lead you to a slew of different opportunities to be able to either learn hands-only CPR or get certified.
So we'll make sure that we put that that link on our post with the podcast so that people can go in and search on that. And I'm also going to put my link so that you guys can donate money, because it is very important to have the awareness. And let me share with you. So we're going to have, we do the podcast once a week. So we're having a nutrologist, a cardiologist, exercise guy. I can't promise I'm going to start exercising every day, but I'm going to talk to the a survivor. So he has like the whole calendar.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm very, very excited.
Yes, no,
we're very, very excited. So I have a very strong goal to meet. I'm not going to say how much because it's secret. And I know that there's other 5 girls competing against me, probably guessing, but no, I'm not going to say it out loud. But it's a big challenge, but I'm sure that I'm going to be able to reach it. And there's several events, so pay attention to my new Facebook business page, Women of Impact. We're doing a prom, 80s prom. That's like the first one that is going to come along. And some other stuff. I can't tell everything I'm going to do, because then what if the other people copy me? So I have to be careful with that. But you guys gonna see it. But you're gonna see the link there, and we're selling shirts. I'm super excited about the shirts. So the shirts is like red shirts, and it says, it like failure is not an option, or with the heart. So it's like super cute. So we're gonna be selling heart shirts, and we have a lot of things. To me, I'm gonna tell you, Erin, I think my why of all this is I have 2 girls. And I think I'm surrounded by a lot of very strong women in my life. And I thankfully I've never, had like, that's the funny, not the funny part. I mean, like, the good thing is that I'm not doing it because, oh, I have to remember someone that I lost because of a heart problem, or, I'm being motivated because I already lost someone. I think to me it's more just the awareness. Like, let's make sure that we're trying to make everything possible to avoid having to remember someone because of it. Does that make sense? Like, more than
I think that it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah.
And for you to have that passion because of your girls and because of your family, and looking at, what is your why? Your future is why. Your kids are why. I think that living those, lasting memories, having those lasting memories are why. Like I said, it's going to be different for everybody. And so I think that some of the statistics are alarming when you sit there and you look at 1 in 3 women die of heart disease every.
Crazy.
And heart disease affects more women than all forms of cancer combined. You sit there and you look at those different statistics, and that's scary.
That's alarming. Yeah, I had the experience. So my girls, they've gone to the same school since they were 4 years old. And I remember Alexa was little, and I went to drop them off that morning, and you go and drop off the kids and you say hi to everybody and the parents and everything. And this guy, he would go and drop off his boy, and we know them for years, so hi, blah blah blah. And that afternoon when I came and pick up my daughter, the teacher told me, she was like, oh my God, like, literally he left from dropping off the kid to school, and they leave at like walking distance from the school, and he had a heart attack. And just like it was one of those like massive like heart attack, like nothing you could do. Super young guy. And I mean, it just kind of like stays with you, because you're like, wow, I mean, really, there was nothing that, there was no like a minute of like, okay, let me prepare for this because this is gonna happen, like kind of like when with cancer, like you kind of like know a right expectation. I mean, this is something like it just happens, and then sometimes you can fix it and sometimes you can't fix it, and it's really hard. So those things, I think I'm more of a hands-on person when it comes to that, like raising funds and doing all that. I think that is the most important part of all that. Yes, the research, but the awareness. Mm-hmm. I think if you like learn what are the things that you can switch or change a little bit in your life to make it a little bit better and have better chances to be more healthy and everything, I think that's just an easy thing to do. And of course, research comes, it helps. I mean, I think that we have done a lot of progress from where we were before. But with that, there comes a lot of different things like you mentioned right now. It is sad to see all these teens and everything with the vapes and everything. I mean, I think like at some point a doctor has to say like maybe smoking a cigarette was less dangerous than actually vaping, because I mean they're coming with all these other stuff. So it's just, raising awareness, I think, is like one of the priorities of all that. So you mentioned the Heart Bowl. Do you want to invite people? I don't know if you guys are already sold out.
We are pretty close to being sold out. And so we are almost there. And so Heart Ball is February 11th. And so just a week away, and super excited about it. Do you?
Yeah. I already have my dress.
I'm sure it looks fabulous.
It's such a fun event. Mm-hmm. What's the theme?
So heartstrings. And so that, looks a little bit different as far as, pulling at the heartstrings, as far as heart disease definitely can affect those heartstrings, as far as that play on words. But also we also have the guitar theme, and we have the Hard Rock Cafe thing going on, and so that's kind of fun.
Maybe you just made me change my whole dress now, Erin. She said Hard Rock Cafe, so I'm like, maybe not. That's not the dress I was thinking about.
I'm sure that you're going to look great. It is a formal event that takes place at the Ortiz Center. We have honorees that we are honoring, Charlie and Linda Zahn, and then Dr. Morgan Campbell and his wife Valerie. And so super excited to be able to honor them and all of the things that they've done for our community.
That's super cool.
So
what about the other event you were telling me before when I got here? Vestido Rojo.
Vestido Rojo. And so that is a free community event that we have in March, and that is also at the Ortiz Center.
Do you know the date?
It is March 25th.
Okay.
And so what that looks like is that it is a half-day conference that we have from 8 to 1. We have different breakout sessions. We're going to be able to train people in CPR, hands-only CPR. There's different breakout sessions that focus on mental well-being and heart disease. Shopping and heart disease, and so making sure that you're shopping for the right foods and that kind of thing. But it's a free event, and how we fill the room is basically we have madrinas who are table hosts, and they invite their friends, family, and coworkers to be able to fill the table.
How long have you been, guys? I've never heard about this event.
This is our 5th year.
Oh wow!
And so we took a 2-year break during
COVID.
And but it's a free community event that we, people don't have to pay to come, and so it's an awesome opportunity to be able to spread that awareness about Latina women and heart disease.
And I heard that there's like some classes are in Spanish.
Mm-hmm. It is a bilingual event, and so
that's very big, because I do have to say us Mexicans are experts on eating the greasy food and not actually looking. I think that this, and I'm Mexican, so nobody can complain about what I'm saying about Mexicans, because I am one. It's like one of those things, like, don't go and get checked, because they're gonna tell you there's something wrong, and you just rather be like, it's okay, I'll have another taco,
Well, I also think that it's within the culture to put yourself on the back burner, and everybody else, the family comes first,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody else comes first, and so I think that's a mindset.
Especially the moms and the grandmas, like, they're the last ones to go to the doctor because they take good care of everybody. Or I know still right now I call my mom and I'm like, oh no, my kids will be like, Mom, I'm sick, my throat hurt, call you grandma. What are you telling? I'm not a doctor, but your grandma will prescribe you something.
Oh, funny.
But
it's a sea of red. I mean, everybody in the room is wearing red. The ladies have so much fun. They decorate their table, and so we have a table contest as far as the table.
How come I have never been invited to this?
Do you want to be a madrina?
Yes, I should be one.
You fill the table with
March 25th.
Yep.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna ask. Oh, I'm gonna put on my calendar. I didn't know about this. What other events do you have? I know you're gonna have one where you're gonna announce that I won.
Yeah, well, we have the Go Red for Women luncheon that takes place on May 18th, and that is a fun event that has been going on for many years. That probably about 90% of the room are women.
I feel like it's growing so much, because I feel like the first one that I went, it was not as big as this last one that I went to. I was like, holy crap, like there's
between 700 to 800 people in the room at the American Bank Center.
Yep.
And so that is definitely an opportunity where we announce the Women of Impact winner.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited about that. But it's also an opportunity for us to honor our survivors. We generally have some type of entertainment that happens. We have we're doing a live auction again at that event.
I really enjoy the live auction, and I know there's other people that I enjoyed it even more. when Wes pulled that, I was like, oh, that's interesting, Wes. That's good. So in that one, I learned about the Circle of Red.
Yeah.
So that's like a secret society. I'm just kidding. It's not a secret society, but it's just like all these super elite women in Corpus are part of the Circle of Red. Do you want to invite people to the Circle of Red?
Yeah, so the Circle of Red is a group of ladies that has grown tremendously. That campaign is managed by Marcy Rodriguez, and we have grown that event to probably almost 200 people.
How many did it start with? Do you remember?
Well, so when we started with the American Heart Association 8.5 years ago, we had about 50 women.
50 women.
And so we've grown that Circle of Red to about 200 ladies, and that's one of the largest in the nation.
Oh, really? In Corpus?
It's very cool. Corpus Christi is one of the largest Circle of Red in the nation, which is very cool for us. And so the Circle of Red, they pay $1,000 per year to be a Circle of Red member.
But you do have different levels.
We do $1,000, $2,500, and $5,000.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are interested in becoming a member of the Circle of Red, you need to call me and let me know, because that would actually apply to my campaign. So I can sign you up, and it's a lot of fun. You guys do a lot of different get-togethers.
Yeah, we have monthly birthdays, but we also have educational times throughout the year, as far as a lot of different events. Truly, it is different educational but fun events that we have throughout the year.
It's like, it's great, and then you go and mingle with other ladies, and it's almost like networking. Like,
I was gonna say, you cross paths with people that you might not have in just everyday life. And so very diverse group of women. Very diverse, yes. And men, because there are men who join Circle of Red.
So they have a Circle of Red for men too. So if you're husband and wife, or your boyfriend, or you can bring them, you just give me a call and I can get you connected with the right people.
Yeah.
So then that one is so May 18th, but you can get in anytime.
Circle of Red is more of the membership is from July 1st through June 30th.
Okay.
And but people start signing up in generally around March and April for the next year.
So if you guys again are interested, there's so many opportunities for you for you guys to help a really good cause. And just like keep in mind and remembering that it's not what you do after the fact more than what you do before it actually happens. So I am a true believer that you have to be aware of things that you can prevent. If you learn more about it. So I'm very excited. I don't know if I told you, so my daughter is in San Francisco, and actually we went and we stayed at this hotel, and then I was like, from my room I could see like all these people like bringing all this stuff. They were gonna have an event, and I was like, I wonder what that's gonna be. And I was like, oh, maybe it's a wedding. And then I just started seeing like all these like red roses, and I was like, I'm like, that's gonna be a red wedding. I'm like, that's interesting. And I kept like just looking and looking and looking until like at the end when we were driving by, it was like go red. So it was a circle. Cool. Yeah, it was like the American Heart Association, they were putting one out. So this is something that is nationwide. But here in Corpus, we're definitely making a dent and helping a lot. So I really hope that all of you guys join us, Erin and me, and help. Did I tell you Cindy Barrera is going to be on my team?
I heard that. She was the winner.
Cindy Barrera won last year, the Women of Impact 2022.
Right.
So I actually, when they told me, I like ran and I was like, Cindy, you're taken. So I'm like, I need all the secrets so that I can win. But no, I'm super excited and super very, very happy that you guys choose me to help with such a great campaign. So
well, we're super excited to have you as one of our Women of Impact nominees. It is the third year that we've been having it, and so I think that it's just an awesome opportunity to be able to have 9 weeks that you're totally focused on making an impact and raising funds for the American Heart Association. The Go Red for Women movement is truly about supporting the women in your life, because it is how the Go Red for Women movement, I guess, evolved as far as the focus of women and heart disease. It used to be that the focus was on men, and so all of the research was being done just on men. It was
wow,
all of the guidelines that were in place were specifically for men. Looking at women and heart disease became the focus of the Go Red for Women movement, and so making sure that doctors were truly
paying attention on that too. Yeah.
And research started happening and focusing in on heart disease. CPR, bystander CPR, it's less likely that somebody will perform CPR on a woman versus a man. And it's because of all of the different issues as far as whether people feel comfortable, whether they are going to get sued, whether they're going to be considered inappropriate.
Man, I've never even thought about that.
Women less likely are being,
that
people
is
are less
crazy.
likely to perform CPR on a woman versus a man. And so, all of those things are truly all about the Go Red for Women movement. And that is where the focus area is as far as that campaign. We do have one other campaign that happens in October, and it's the Heart Walk.
Oh.
And so that is basically an opportunity for people to get active and
you have
more.
A lot of people on that walk, right?
We have generally 3,500 to 4,000 people out there at Whataburger Field the first weekend of October. And so it is an opportunity for organizations and companies to get involved, and a little bit different than the Heart Ball and Go Red, where you are limited to 8 people at a table.
Mm-hmm.
This the opportunity for Heart Walk, you're able to get everybody involved in this campaign, from one side of the organization to the CEO, and everybody in between, and then all of their family members and their friends. And so it's truly an opportunity for you to get everybody involved.
I'm gonna commit with you that everybody in this office is gonna go to the walk.
That's awesome.
Heart Walk. We're
is
gonna
awesome.
do shirts, and we're gonna go all out. And then we're gonna do that. But well, thank you so much for being here.
This was awesome. Man, I enjoyed it.
I have one question. So the Women of Impact 3 years, was that nationwide that started it, or just Corpus?
Nope, that's everywhere. Nationwide.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know why did it start? Like they just came out with something new, or?
Yeah, it's just an opportunity. Somebody had an idea of let's go ahead and have these women that are basically change makers within a community, and being able to nominate and choose women that are definitely going to make an impact, mm-hmm. whether that be both educationally as well as fundraising. Yeah. And truly, I think that's what's happened. We, that first year, I think that we raised like 35 to 40,000. The next year, last year was about 120,000.
Wow!
And so we'll see what happens
this year,
especially with you on ball,
yeah.
as well as the other.
They're all. I mean, they're like tough. Yeah, they're like tough competitors. I'm just, if you know me, I'm just very competitive. And like when they told me, I was like, okay, like what do I have to do to win? I
think all of them, every single.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win.
So don't forget, American is February is Heart Month. So all the way, like, I mean, Valentine's and everything. But all of you guys, instead of buying flowers, maybe go to my link and donate on your girl's name instead of like sending flowers. Flowers die. Research doesn't. So we're gonna put all our events that are to come, and then we're gonna also add the link for the CPR training in case you guys are interested. And thank you so much, Erin, again for being here with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.